And welcome back to more Animal Crossing New Horizons. So last time, we basically started doing more stuff, like Nook Miles. We started learning how to do DIY stuff. And this time, I'm gonna continue what I was talking about last time. That was basically how this game handles, like, positive feedback, and that random conversation with Nook is a perfect example from the last part. We gave him a fish. He's like, I'm gonna send it to my museum curator friend. We totally don't know who it is yet, but yeah, it's Blathers. I'll be very shocked if it's not Blathers. But he gave us a bunch of DIY recipes because we gave him a sea bass. That's like really cool because... Okay, DIY recipes. Check this app for info on the DIY recipes you've collected. You can also register frequently crafted items as favorites to make good use of it while you DIY. That's cool. So things you're gonna need a lot, you can just craft really easily. That's handy. Yeah, basically, they give you a lot of rewards for doing basically everything so far in this game. It's like looking at the map, we're confined to the lower portion because of the two rivers. We don't have a way to get across even. And yet there's still a lot you can do. Not having a museum doesn't matter because we can still send everything to Blathers anyway, which is fantastic. I was worried about this. Also, that's a big fish. I'm gonna go for it. I hope my fishing rod doesn't break. So even though it's trying to ease the player in very gently, it's still pretty addictive. I was a little worried. That was a big fear of mine. Talking and trying to fish is actually really difficult, I'm discovering. I somehow didn't learn this from doing a Let's Play previously. I was a little bit worried that not having like the Able Sisters or Blathers, and the museum by extension, and some other, like, we don't even have like Isabelle or a town hall. I was worried it would feel a little bit restrictive, but here I am on like episode 4, and still finding things to talk about, and we are still very limited at this point, so that is a very good sign for me at least. Got another squid. It's off the hook, I get it. That's cool though, they have multiple lines for catching fish. Previously, you'd get the same quip every time, so I very much appreciate having different dialogue for each, for different times you catch a particular type of fish. The game looks pretty. I will say the frame rate is lower than, City Folk. It's 30 frames instead of 60. Like New Leaf, basically, but it's rock solid so far. I haven't noticed any dips or anything. I'm also playing on console, obviously. Or docked, I should say. So maybe it's different in handheld. From what I've seen, it's pretty stable in handheld too. So I don't think there's anything to worry about from a performance standpoint. Yeah, everything looks super pretty. Like clothing detail, the water, like the way the water ripples as the fish moves. It's a very good looking game. I don't mind the cut to frame rate because it's a stable 30, so it still feels perfectly smooth and everything, even though it is technically lower than City Folk. And also the GameCube one. Still beats Wild World, which is at like 20 FPS. Nothing will ever be that bad. Okay, that's a tire. I'm sure I'm tired of that. This whole tire could be repurposed. I've got an idea for a DIY recipe. Why am I getting Final Fantasy 15 flashbacks? And I haven't even played Final Fantasy 15, but I know about all the new recipes that, what's his name, Ignis comes up with? So yeah, I don't know, the whole phrasing of that, like, oh, I just thought of a new recipe, it's like, that feels very familiar. So, you can just get little tree branches by shaking trees. Gotta be, hopeful I'm not getting stung by bees, because that can happen in this game, as is traditional to Animal Crossing. One thing I'll say is, I have the music very low, at the moment. It doesn't sound super memorable to me so far, but it's also so low that maybe once I crank it up it'll sound a little bit better. It's very mellow. It feels very distinct from like New Leaf or Wild World and Sea Folk, and I like it, but it just doesn't stand out quite as much. It's kind of like the difference between Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild. Ooh, that's interesting. I like Breath of the Wild's soundtrack, but it's very background and ambient based, or compared to like Wind Waker that has a very like overtly noticeable soundtrack that's really good, if you ask me. Alright, so we have a flimsy net and a flimsy axe, so that'll help. Also, right now I'm gonna donate all the fish. Also, you can push B or hold down B even to speed up text. It's just, I haven't been doing that very much in this playthrough because my reading speed is comparable to the normal text speed. I have a proper reward for you this time. I've given you a red pansy bag. Just a little sampling of a product we sell. Go ahead and do some planting, and after a few days, you'll have beautiful blooming flowers. Anyway, give it a whirl, and if you enjoy gardening, stop by and buy more. I hope you'll keep bringing me new discoveries to examine. It's all part of the island's experience, yes? Again, this is what I keep saying. It's like I'm just doing, like, normal Animal Crossing things, like, hey, here's the horse mackerel, and he's like, here's a cool new feature, gradually opening up to you. It's really like... Oh, remember the flower samples I gave you? I forgot to mention something. The flowers that grow will be very strong. They'll spring up, and even if you just plant them and forget them. But if you water them each day, that's where the magic happens. Watering opens up the possibility of propagating and crossbreeding your flowers to develop rare colors. And how might you water them, you ask? Well, I've just sent you the DIY recipe for a watering can. My accountant warned me about giving this sort of thing away for free, but you've collected creatures for me, Jonathan, so this is just part of island give and take. I hope you'll keep bringing me new discoveries to examine. It's all part of the island experience. Also, I should probably apologize for the fact that I've been really scatterbrained in these first couple parts. It's like, this is blind. I don't know what I'm doing. If something kind of comes up out of nowhere, I just kind of drop everything and, you know, talk about it without, you know... And I just kind of postpone my thoughts until later. So yeah, it will get better as we go along and there's less things to explain. Wow, we're really close. Actually, wow, that's 1,000 weeds. We're not doing that anytime soon. Fruit. So, I need to sell fruit, I guess. Shells. Trash. Oh, that's for fishing up trash. Oh wow. Catching fish in a row, that's gonna be unfortunate also because this game autosaves, so you can't even like cheat. More furniture, wow, I'm only one away from that. Oh, how silly of me to forget, I need to give you a brief introduction to that box there. That is a recycle box for the island residents to use. We'll be using it for items removed during construction and such. Yes, if you see anything you like, feel free to take it right on home. If the box gets full, we'll get rid of the oldest items first, so don't delay in picking out what you want. So basically things that get, like, I guess destroyed, or has to be moved for the sake of a DIY project or something. So that's neat. Also kind of a standard feature, I think the older games had that too. I wish I put one of the houses on the other side of the plaza, because as is, everyone's just kind of clumped up over here. So that was not the best planning on my part. I don't know how to move a tent, because they kind of implied you could move your tent. I'm not sure how. Again, this is relatively blind at this point. Not entirely blind, because I have seen people do a fair amount of this opening segment, but, relatively blind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought we were supposed to get something for 5 items, but maybe not. Nook phone life. Gotten used to using your Nook phone? The fact that you're reading this probably means you have. Keep using it and enjoy some Nook miles just for getting familiar with it. Neat. Wow, we're so close. Seller of unwanted stuff. Also, it tells you dates, so that's cool. Exterior decorator. I thought there was an interior decorator. Also, I'm guessing we can do regular designs, but not pro designs, because that's been a thing since, I think, City Folk or New Leaf. Yeah, I could have sworn there's one for having a certain amount of items in your house. Put more furniture in your house. Nook Inc. will give you Nook Miles based on the number of indoor furniture items you have, so you're earning rewards for making your house a home. I have 5 items, so I'm not sure what they want from me exactly, but oh well. What else can we do? Wait, what's that? Did that just pop now that I left my house? It did, wow, okay. Thanks, game. Cool. Also, we need to customize profile again, because a lot has been unlocked since. We need to sell fruit, we need to sell more weeds, we need to catch fish. And yeah, we're still on day 1. So this game is a lot to take in. Ha, we keep meeting up, so minutes have been treating you well, Cheeky? I kinda moved here on a whim, and I'm not sure I brought enough bells with me, Cheeky. Like, you hear deserted island, and you think you're not gonna need money? Yeah, I need a plan. I heard I can get bells selling fruits and weeds and stuff to Timmy. If I do that, maybe I'll be alright. So, yeah, their dialogue is very tutorial heavy at this point. Is that also a weed? That is. Yeah, in terms of things very gradually opening up to you, there's still like 2/3 of our island we can't even get to, which is kind of wild to me. Yes, I caught a yellow butterfly. Shouldn't all butterflies be yellow? Oh, Animal Crossing and their insistence on puns. Hey, you can shake trees while holding a net. I'm pretty sure that's new? Maybe? I'm actually not 100% sure, but I know in the old games, that's not the case. I've mentioned it before, but I am currently working on a total Animal Crossing retrospective. I wanted it done before New Horizons, but things came up, so it's unfortunately gonna wrap up around April, hopefully. But it's been interesting replaying the older games to capture footage and get a sense of them. No wait, it's at least— oh, we saw that already. Oh no, I guess that's it for my flimsy fishing rod. Oh good, durability. Everyone's favorite feature in modern video games. Using a tool until it breaks is proof of your hard work. In praise of your good deeds, you're getting Nook Miles based on how many tools you've broken, okay? That's weird. Rascally clown? I'm not sure how I feel about that. So yeah, your starting phrases seem to be just like, hey, other game references and such. And now we're getting titles that are more specific. Wharf Roach. This water-loving roach has no peer. Oh, Blathers is not gonna have a fun time getting that in the mail from Nook. I really wish you could move items. Okay, that's not something I expected to be able to do. Placing items like that. That's cool. There's a lot to see in this. There really is. And yeah, I know I spent a lot of time on day 1, and probably could be, probably wouldn't have to show all of this, but, kind of common butterfly, they often flutter by. Haha. But it's an enjoyable experience for me. Oh boy. Okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Yes, I got a wasp. That's gotta sting. Well, that was anticlimactic. I thought it would be a lot tougher than that. Yeah, I was like all like ready to be like, oh gosh, how am I gonna survive? And then it's like, oh, that was easy. Yeah, at some point we're gonna move on to day 2. I don't know when that's gonna be. In retrospect, I feel like this might have almost been a better stream project because of how much time I'm spending on day 1 of the game. But oh well. But yeah, personally, I can see this becoming my favorite Animal Crossing. It's very much going to be a wait and see kind of deal. Because, they're going to be gradually updating the game over time. So, for example, like, it's hard to judge an Animal Crossing game day 1 because it's like, Amiibo Festival where it started is very different from Amiibo Festival where it ended. Because the Welcome Amiibo update is massive in scope, so it went from a really good Animal Crossing to like the best Animal Crossing. And so far this game has a very strong start, but again it's kind of difficult to compare New Leaf where it ended up because of how much content they added. And because they promised to gradually update this game, it's going to be kind of a wait and see to see how far they go with their updates with this game. But I can see it easily becoming my favorite Animal Crossing, regardless. So basically, I'm gonna keep going on day 1, probably until I max out the Nook Miles, and get our house all settled, and just do some miscellaneous things. Again, this has... Oh, I caught a tiger butterfly. I've earned my stripes. I've honestly spent more time on day 1 for this Let's Play than I anticipated. I thought it would be like 3 episodes. And then I figured out, oh yeah, Nook Miles. So, we're gonna keep working on Nook Miles. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Animal Crossing New Horizons.